Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining me on this wonderful and chilly night of Friday, February 5th, 2021. I am meteorologist McKinney, and this broadcast will feature everything that is going on with Winter Storm Peggy. You all know that I talked about this last night, and I said that the big picture with this system was not going to be the amount of precipitation. It was going to be all of the very cold temperatures that it was bringing down from the polar vortex. And we've already started to see those very cold temperatures, and we will continue to see those very cold temperatures for several days now, including a place like International Falls, Minnesota. I will tell you in just a few minutes how cold that will get. But to save time with this broadcast, I will be doing two parts. The first part will be featuring everything about Winter Storm Peggy and the forecast for this weekend. And then I will also talk about a very important NFL game coming up this Sunday. Super Bowl, I think it was LI or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what number that is in Roman numerals. And then the second part will feature everything about the bitter cold that we're going to be seeing. But let's jump right into this broadcast. Here's a current look at our satellite, our current surface map and radar. So here's whatever is left of Winter Storm Peggy. Here's all that cold air being brought down from northern Canada and also the polar vortex. Remember how I told you all that there was going to be an area of low pressure that would gradually work its way east and affect us here in the eastern seaboard? Well, that is basically what is currently happening. You all can see that we've been having widespread showers all throughout the eastern Carolinas today. But this will be our big picture. Basically all the showers that were in South Carolina, most of them now are well off the coast or have worked their way into North Carolina. And then this will be our big picture. So tomorrow it's just going to be mostly cloudy. And then as you get into the afternoon hours of tomorrow, and then eventually into the very early morning hours of Sunday, that'll be when this system works its way into our area. But just to look at how much snowfall was estimated from Winter Storm Peggy throughout the 3rd and 4th of this month, the white spot area of around 2 to 3 inches, possibly some areas of 3 to 5 in Michigan, especially in western Michigan, possibly some places around Green Bay, Wisconsin, but a very big area of 3 to 5 inches. Let's take a better look here in the southeast. As I just said, here's that area of low pressure basically right here. Here's our best chance of showers right there. You all can see very heavy showers working their way into places like southern parts and central parts of Louisiana, into the southern parts of Mississippi now, working into steadier rain as you go into southern Alabama and extreme southern Georgia. And then as you gradually go into the Carolinas, as I said, most of the rain is well off the coast now, leaving basically everybody with cloud cover, but our big shot of rain will come tomorrow afternoon. Here's your better look here in the northeast. Still some snow showers lingering around, and possibly also some lake effect snow coming off of the Great Lakes. So basically western New York, western Pennsylvania, the central part of Ohio, and possibly some parts in Indiana. Still getting in on some of that snow, possibly some heavier snow and more, I guess you could say, widespread snow working their way into places like Caribou, Maine, the north parts of Maine. And then as you go back down towards south, towards a place like Bangor, Maine, that's where you're going to be finding more of the possibly mixing precipitation or possibly even more rain. So here's the forecast going into tomorrow evening. You all can see now that area of low pressure and the steady rain showers are now working their way into our area. Possibly some wintry weather, and especially in especially western parts of the state, possibly in the mountains of North Carolina, we could possibly be seeing maybe a few inches. Not a big snowstorm, just possibly a few inches, but widespread showers all throughout the day. Possibly some snow showers just because of that cold front stilling around because of Winter Storm Peggy. So possibly throughout the rest of the Ohio River Lake, possibly getting into some of that snow action, but most of it is now over because that area of low pressure will be way opposite the coast. Looking at Sunday, most of our rain here in the south is basically done. Now that area of low pressure has worked its way all the way north, and now we're starting to see places like Washington, D.C. metro area, New York City, and also Boston, Massachusetts getting into some of that snow. So basically the whole entire eastern and northern interior of the country now getting into some of that rain, and now we're even starting to see more very cold temperatures working their way into possibly the northern plains. Look at that. The high for Sunday in Minneapolis, Minnesota, -1 degrees. That's the high. Think about the wind chill factors and everything you add on to that. We're looking at a very big cool down. Look at that. Rapid City, South Dakota, topping out at 5 degrees on Sunday, and Great Falls, Minnesota, topping out at -5. But I'm not really going to go into basically the Arctic cool down because I'll be getting into more of that in just a few minutes. Now let's work our way into the big game that is coming this Sunday, Super Bowl LV. This is coming up this Sunday, February 7th at 6:30 p.m. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs going at it in Tampa Bay. I think this was I heard on the news. This is probably I think the first home football game that an NFL team has had at their home in a very long time. Obviously, a very big day for Tom Brady. I think this might be his 10th or 11th Super Bowl. So obviously, a big day for the Brady family. All of best luck to you. Personally, I am not a Brady. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I've always been a rival of him. But because this is such a big deal for him, I wish him the best of luck and save for Kansas City. You might be asking yourself, who am I going to be voting for? No offense to Tom Brady, but I'm going to be rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs just because I feel like Tom Brady wins a lot of times that I do want to see him lose just one time. So that is why I will be rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs this time. But once again, a very big game this Sunday on February 7th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time is when kickoff is. So that is all part one of this broadcast. In the next part, I will bring you all up to date on all the information as far as this big cooldown comes, and you definitely don't want to miss it because we're gonna be talking about some very important information. So that is all coming up in just a minute. So hang on tight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part two of my broadcast for tonight. In the last part, I talked all about our current storm, Winter Storm Peggy, and how that has been bringing a lot of snow, lake effect snow even, to western New York and western Pennsylvania, and how that area of low pressure that is down in the south will gradually work its way over the Carolinas and bring us a decent shot of rain tomorrow afternoon and eventually as you get into the very early morning hours of Sunday. But now I want to jump into basically all of our information about this bitter cold weather that we have been seeing, especially in the northern tier of the U.S. Now, you might be wondering, why is all this happening? Well, I'm about to explain it to you, okay? So we have this big thing up here in the North Pole and in the Arctic Circle. It's called the polar vortex. And what that is it's basically a jet stream pattern of what we get down here. You all know that the jet stream pattern is what circulates all of our weather and basically moves all the weather that we get here during our daily lives. Well, that's basically what they have up there, but obviously because they're much more northern than we are, it's much, much colder. So what happened was that we had a very big and strong area of low pressure that was way over here, basically almost in Antarctica. And what happened was it was strong enough that when it passed just to the west of that polar vortex, it was strong enough to where it was able to, I guess you could say, pick off a piece of that polar vortex. And what happened is that as it gradually, worked its way down towards the southeast and eventually towards the U.S., it brought that very, chilly part of the polar vortex all the way down. And that's why we're starting to see very frigid air, possibly, some temperatures possibly in the negative 30s in some places, especially right along here on the U.S.-Canadian border, okay? So here's the forecast right now. As you all can see, the current temperatures right now, basically in northern North Dakota and northern Minnesota, we're in the single digits, possibly working our way into the negative digits, especially with that wind chill. So basically, anywhere here in the northern plains, we're in the single digits, a little bit back down towards the south, possibly getting into some little bit warmer temperatures, working their way into the 20s. But it's still going to be very, very cold, especially here in the Ohio River Valley and especially here in the Mid-Atlantic. Parts of Iowa now getting into the teens, possibly Indianapolis getting into some of those teens. So basically, anywhere here across the Ohio River Valley, we're going to be seeing very cold temperatures, and unfortunately, it does not stop there. It will work its way all the way down here to the south and possibly bring, some of these southern states that do not see snow, very frequently. We may see a few flurries, especially in some parts of extreme northern South Carolina and possibly some areas in northern Georgia, okay? Now, obviously, we do have a lot of alerts going on, high wind warnings, blizzard warnings, the whole nine yards, because this air is so frigid. So obviously, anywhere in this blue area, we have a wind chill warning, which means that the wind chill is so frigid that as soon as you step out the door, you're going to immediately feel that. So please be sure that if you are walking out of your house, whether to go to the grocery store or anything, please be sure you have a very heavy jacket on because it is going to be extremely cold, okay? So anywhere along here, whether you're in a wind chill warning, wind chill watch, or wind chill advisory, it doesn't matter what you're in, just please be sure that you are bundled up as many layers as you can because it is going to be freezing out there, okay? So let's look at some of these highs that we're going to be experiencing all the way from Saturday all the way out next week into Monday. Look at this. Let's start off in Duluth, Minnesota. -7 degrees on Sunday morning, okay? This does not just last for 1 or 2 days. This goes throughout the whole rest of the week, and then eventually will work its way down into the south, okay? So, Duluth, Minnesota, very, very, very chilly, going from -5 on Saturday all the way to -4 on Sunday. So basically, several days where our high is in the negative digits, and our average high is 21 degrees, so well below average for several places, okay? Let's check in another one. Des Moines, Minnesota, our average high is 33. We'll be at 4 degrees on Sunday morning, okay? St. Louis, Missouri, our average high is around 42 degrees. We'll be in the teens come next Wednesday. Unbelievable, the temperature difference that some people are going to be seeing, okay? Chicago, Illinois, a very big city that, has a lot of people coming in and out of. Our average high is right at that freezing mark of 32. We'll be at 8 on Sunday morning, okay? Let's look at some other places, okay? Let's start in Fargo, North Dakota. The closest we've seen this season, -9. We'll be at -21 degrees on Monday, y'all. Unbelievable the temperature that we're gonna the temperature difference that we're gonna be seeing, okay? The closest we've had in Omaha, Nebraska so far, 3 degrees. We'll be at -3, so 6 degrees below where we were, I guess you could say the coldest temperature of the season so far, okay? Minneapolis, Minnesota, our coldest temperature has been -5. We'll be at -13 on Sunday, y'all. Unbelievable, okay? And last but not least, I cannot forget about you in Chicago. I'm going to skip Indianapolis just because of the time, but the coldest we've seen in Chicago, Illinois is 8 degrees. We'll be at -6 on Monday, okay? Absolutely incredible. So let's fast forward into tomorrow now. Our average high is about 30 to 40. We'll be at -8 in International Falls. That is the high, okay? Think about our high temperature. Think about what our low temperature could be, y'all. We could possibly be talking about a low in the -20s, plus with the wind chill, possibly in the -30s, okay? And a major cool down for several of these areas, okay? I mean, look at that. Minneapolis, Minnesota, our high is at 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Absolutely unbelievable. And look, this continues all the way into Sunday, okay? Our average high in Minot, North Dakota is about maybe 20 to 30. We'll be at -10 for our high all throughout the day. And if you don't, and that's without factoring in the wind chill and everything else, we could possibly be looking at a -40 temperature difference. Absolutely incredible. Okay, look at some of these wind chills that were forecast. Grand Forks, North Dakota, -42 degrees, y'all. I mean, can it get any colder than this? I don't think it can, honestly, okay? Minneapolis, Minnesota, -27. International Falls, -41. 3 areas that are going to be in the -40s and 30s, okay? Billings, Montana, -16 with our wind chill. Rapid City, South Dakota, -15, okay? So basically, 3 areas that we're going to be seeing extremely cold temperatures, okay? Absolutely incredible, okay? So let's look at this. The forecast for the morning lows for the next few days. Sunday morning, International Falls will be at -22. Monday morning, International Falls, -26. And -21 on Tuesday in International Falls. Extremely, extremely cold, okay? Minneapolis, Minnesota, another place I'll be seeing very cold temperatures. -13 on Sunday, -10 on Monday, and -14 on Tuesday. Unbelievable. And as I said, this will track all the way down to the south, okay? Let's look at places like Nashville, Tennessee. 31 on Monday, 28 on Monday, and 41 on Tuesday. Unbelievable the temperature difference that some places are going to be seeing, okay? Chicago and Indianapolis, Chicago, Ohio, is that Chicago, Illinois? I'm probably saying this wrong, okay? Chicago, -6 on Sunday, 1 degrees on Monday, and -2 on Tuesday. Absolutely incredible the temperature that some people are going to be seeing throughout the next few days. So that is all I have for you all tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening.